So for this video, we will discuss the complex system for the control of blood flow. Now there are three systems for the control of blood flow, but we will first discuss the local control. So in local control circulation, the blood flow varies from one organ to another. Blood flow to an organ is regulated by altering the arterial resistance, and it also can be varied depending on the organ's metabolic demands. Now we'll go into the mechanisms which explain the local control of blood flow. The first mechanism is the autoregulation. Most physiology textbooks describe local control of blood flow under the topic of blood flow autoregulation. This phrase refers to both myogenic and metabolic systems that strive to maintain steady blood flow in the event of sudden variations in blood pressure. The figure here demonstrates autoregulatory activity with abrupt drops in blood pressure generating an initial fall in flow, followed by dilation, which restores blood flow to baseline. The resumption of blood flow might be mediated by metabolite buildup or by myogenic processes. Acute increases in blood pressure, on the other hand, generate an initial rise in flow followed by constriction, which might be mediated by metabolite washout or by myogenic processes. The next mechanism is active hyperemia. When we say active hyperemia, it is the blood flow response to increased tissue metabolic activity. Active hyperemia can be observed in any tissues in response to increased metabolic activity. It is the most prominent characteristic of skeletal muscle where changes in metabolic activity can be dramatic. For example, the progressive increases in contractile activity produced by increments in running speed result in stepwise elevations in blood flow. The last mechanism is reactive hyperemia. It is the blood flow response to blood flow occlusion. The figure here shows blood pressure cuff around the biceps, inflated to suprasystolic levels for various periods of time. After the release of pressure from the cuff, the brachial artery blood flow response was measured by ultrasound. As shown in this figure, the peak increase in blood flow was related to the duration of occlusion. This observation is consistent with the production and accumulation of metabolites by the ischemic tissue. Humoral control. As stated in the definition, the humoral control of circulation refers to the regulation of blood flow and blood pressure through chemical signals or hormones produced by different parts of the body. These hormones act on blood vessels and the heart to adjust blood flow and pressure in response to changes in fluid and electrolyte balance, blood volume, and cardiovascular function. Also, this mechanism is one of the ways the body maintains homeostasis and ensures adequate blood flow to vital organs. For the vasoconstrictor agents, we have norepinephrine and epinephrine. Our vasoconstrictor agents, norepinephrine and epinephrine, are released from our sympathetic nervous system and also released from the adrenal glands and circulate within the actual body circulation. They stimulate vasoconstriction, except for in the coronary arteries where they stimulate dilation to help increase blood flow to the heart. The next vasoconstrictor agent is the angiotensin II. We have angiotensin II, which is a powerful vasoconstrictor to once again increase our arterial pressure. Angiotensin II is a hormone that acts as a vasoconstrictor agent, meaning it narrows or constricts blood vessels. This leads to an increase in blood pressure, which helps to maintain adequate blood flow to vital organs such as the heart and brain. And now we have the vasodilator agent. The first vasodilator agent is the bradykinin. It is the one that's released during inflammation to result in vasodilation and increased capillary permeability, which is important in inflammation. If there's a cut in your skin or if you have an infection, you want to increase the amount of blood flow to the area and allow your white blood cells and all your other inflammatory mediators to leave the vessel. The next agent is the histamine. We have histamine, which is released during allergies. Histamine stimulates the secretion of other substances that can contribute to inflammation, such as mucus and fluid in the nasal passages, which is why it is involved in the symptoms of allergies and other inflammatory conditions. However, excessive release of histamine can also cause adverse effects such as flushing, itching, and hives. In conclusion, we discovered that humoral control is the term used to describe the regulation of blood pressure and flow by the release of hormones. We were able to uncover the vasoconstrictor and vasodilator agents. Collectively, hormones and ions control blood vessel diameter and blood flow, maintaining a healthy balance between blood pressure and fluid retention in the body. And then lastly, we will discuss the system of nervous control. Another example for complex system of control is the nervous control, wherein the autonomic nervous system plays a crucial role in controlling blood flow by modulating the tone of muscles in the walls of blood vessels. The vasomotor center is an area of the lower pons and upper medulla. Continually transmits a low frequency of action potential to the sympathetic nerve fibers. Therefore, the peripheral blood vessels are continually in a partially constricted state, a condition called vasomotor tone. An increase in vasomotor tone causes blood vessels to constrict further and blood pressure to increase. A decrease in vasomotor tone causes blood vessels to dilate and blood pressure to decrease. Nervous control of blood vessel diameter is an important way that blood pressure is regulated. Now, the nervous control of blood vessels also cause blood to be shunted from one large area of the body to another. For example, nervous control of blood vessels during exercise increases vasomotor tone in the viscera and skin and reduces vasomotor tone in exercising skeletal muscles. As a result, blood flow to the viscera and skin decreases, and blood flow to skeletal muscle increases. The nervous control of blood vessels during exercise and dilation of precapillary sphincters as muscle activity increases together increase blood flow through exercising skeletal muscle severalfold. The sympathetic division also regulates hormonal control of blood flow through the release of epinephrine and norepinephrine from the adrenal medulla. These hormones are transported in the blood to all parts of the body. In most blood vessels, these hormones cause constriction, which reduces blood flow. But in some tissues, such as skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle, these hormones cause the blood vessels to dilate, increasing blood flow.